What's going on, guys? Dean-bryson here. So in today's video I wanted to talk a little bit about my lockdown experience with the gyms opening up again in a week's time. I wanted to reflect on the pandemic and what it has taught me about myself and the struggles that I've been having, because I want you guys to know that you're not alone, and many of us are struggling right now, and that's okay. I know that there's a lot of pressure out there to be doing well, to be okay with being alone and finding things to do and being productive. And there's a lot of content out there that is about that. But in today's, I share those kind of videos as well, but in today's video, I wanted to be a little bit real, a bit more vulnerable with you guys, and just sort of talk to you a little bit about the way that I have been feeling during this lockdown. If you're new to my channel, I talk a lot about mental health, fitness and personal development. So if those are topics that you enjoy learning about, click that subscribe button, click that bell button to make sure you're notified every time I post a new video. So I'm someone who spends a lot of time on my own anyway. I've been invested in personal development and self-help for about 5 years now. So it's not uncommon for me to isolate myself. It's not uncommon for me to disconnect away from people and to spend time working on improving certain areas of my life. But with that being said, I'm not used to the amount of time that I've been spending alone, and I'm not used to being confined to one environment. Now, don't get me wrong, I can go outside, I can go to different places, but unfortunately where I'm living right now with my parents, it's right in the middle of the countryside. It's about 5 or 6 miles from Cambridge, which is the biggest city to me. And that makes it quite difficult because I'm someone who really thrives from being in social environments. I love going to the gym. I love going to go to the pub or going to bars, going to nightclubs. I enjoy going to the cinema. I enjoy music and going to concerts and gigs. I'm a very social person, despite the fact that I can isolate myself and disconnect when I'm feeling depressed or I'm feeling anxious or just generally not feeling very good about my life. Naturally I am someone who wants to be around people a lot, so that's been quite difficult. My experience prior to living here with my parents was that I was in Malaga for 6 months in Spain, that was a very different experience for me. I went there on my own. I didn't really know anyone when I went out there. I didn't really know very much Spanish. I ended up spending about 2 or 3 months of that 6-month period in lockdown, a lot of the time on my own, that was very isolating. That was very difficult for me. I had some great experiences over there, don't get me wrong. The weather was fantastic. Some of the scenery was amazing. It was very nice waking up and being able to walk to the beach or walk to the forest, go to the mountains, or just browse around the city. But I was spending a hell of a lot of time alone. And that was good for me in the sense that it allowed me to reflect on my experiences, to reflect on childhood, to reflect on my teenage years, on university, on the failures that I've had in my life, on the relationships and friendship breakdowns that I've had, and all of that other stuff. And it did allow me a great deal of time to work on those things and to heal, to process that stuff. But I think it's important to have balance in your life. I think it's important to have variety, and it's important to have escape away from those things. And obviously during the time I was in Malaga, I wasn't able to work out there. I was just relying on the few life coaching clients that I had, and coming back to the UK as well. My priority has been on getting qualified as a personal trainer, getting my website up and going, building my YouTube channel, and I haven't really wanted to go out into to the world of work. Obviously, I normally rely on doing jobs like working in bars or working in restaurants. I'm planning on working in a gym as well, and the kind of roles that I enjoy doing haven't necessarily been available to me during this period. And I'm someone who wants to enjoy the work that I do. I've understood that this is a temporary period within my life where I'm going to be financially not so good. I'm probably not going to have as much motivation as I normally would, and that's okay. So I think it's all about understanding and embracing who you are as a person, who you are naturally, and taking that back into the world when things return back to normal. So if you know that you're someone who actually really enjoys having time alone, and just investing your time in hobbies and interests that you can do independently, then keep going with that. Don't feel the need to always be socializing and to be around people. And the opposite is true. If you are someone who enjoys being around people, then realize that, and don't always isolate yourself. Don't just disconnect from people so much, and allow yourself to be more vulnerable, to be more open. That's definitely something that I've learned from this entire experience, is that it's so important for me to share my emotions, to share my feelings, to be open with people, and to have people in my life that allow me to do that, allow me to be authentic, and are comfortable talking about deeper issues, talking about emotions and stuff like that. Because when for me that's the most important thing when it comes to friendship, when it comes to relationships, is that ability to talk about real stuff that's happening in your life, rather than the surface level small talk that some people engage with. For me, it doesn't have any interest. I don't enjoy that sort of thing, but at the same time, I have to. I'm aware that sometimes you have to get involved in small talk. Sometimes you have to engage in conversations and topics that you might not necessarily be that interested in order to get to a deeper level with someone else. But with that being said, I'm now more aware of the fact that I am socially quite extroverted, and I enjoy a lot of variety in my life, and that's been something that I haven't necessarily been that conscious about in the past. I'd often find myself gravitating towards different people, being the social butterfly, and because of that, people would feel like I wasn't being loyal to them, that I didn't care about them, or that they weren't enough for me in my life. But that's not the case at all. That's not what I was thinking. All I was thinking was, I like variety. I like being around different people. I like learning about new people, and having lots of different new experiences. That for me is what makes me feel alive. That's what makes me feel confident. That's what excites me. And I've learned to appreciate that and value that within myself, and forgive myself almost for the fact that I don't have many really close friends. I don't have a tight-knit group of friends. And the fact that I am quite extroverted is probably the reason for that, and something that I've judged myself a lot for in the past, because a lot of my friendships have ended because of that fact, because of the fact that I like to try new things, because of the fact I'm very open-minded, because of the fact that I keep growing and I keep learning. I'm kind of addicted to personal development and self-improvement, and that isn't always everyone's kettle of fish, cup of tea. It's not always what everyone likes, and that's okay. I'm not here to say that everyone should be a personal development junkie, all right? But for me, it's just been about learning to love and accept myself for who I am, and not being so self-critical. So it's been a struggle. It's been really difficult, this lockdown period, but I've learned a great deal about myself, and I wouldn't change it for anything. So that was my lockdown experience. I hope you found value from this video. If you did, press that like button, press the subscribe button, and share it with your friends if you think they would like this video too. I look forward to seeing you all in the next one.